Welcome to SVG-TV's evening news for Friday, April 11th, 2014. I'm CATO with the details. Close to 40 livestock farmers who attended the Farmers Field School for Small Ruminants were involved in a training program on the making of silage for sheep and goats. The training, which was done on the Oswald Byam farm at Fairburn Pastures, saw visiting FAO consultant Jerry Thomas out of Barbados demonstrate one of the methods used as a food security measure for livestock. Thomas outlined the advantages of advocating that for livestock farmers, the making of silage was an appropriate use of the adage as they engaged in activities to preserve and store some of the excess grasses, legumes, and other forage material used in the diet of the animals that are now in abundant supply.
In other words, we have a rainy season and we have a dry season. What we find ourselves doing in the rainy season, we just do nothing. We eat, we use what we can, and the rest goes to waste. What we should be doing is conserving that grass during the rainy season and put it down for the dry season, the excess. In other words, I look around here, look, this beautiful place that been manicured. This is a typical example of a place that can conserve grass for years to come. All this grass that got cast today should be conserved in the form of silage. You can't make it into hay, but you can make it into silage because of this. And it's ideal for silage making. And you don't have to have a lot of things for silage making. You need bags, you need plastic drums, you need small plastic bags. As long as you can find something that can conceal and exclude air when you need it, you can conserve grass for a year and a year to come.
Thomas told the farmers that silage is a great option to counteract some of the challenges that the dry season presents as it relates to leading livestock.
It's a process where you take green material, because you need some moisture in it, and you compact it, you chop it, you compact it, and you store it in your container, whether it be a plastic bag, a silo, a drum, whatever, for a period of time, with the exclusion of air. And the main purpose of it is to feed the livestock during times of scarcity.
According to the communication unit in the Ministry of Agriculture, the farmers were able to make at least 5 containers which were taken back to their respective classrooms to be monitored over the next 21 days. Over 7,000 pieces of clothing were donated to the Mustique Charitable Trust, the MCT, through a homeowner in Mustique and will be handed out to persons affected by the December 2013 frost system. According to Adminstrator at the MCT, Lavinia Gunn, the brand new clothing was sourced from garment manufacturers Simon Jerseys and Ballyclare were shipped from the United Kingdom.
On this project both with NEMO and with the Red Cross, and Red Cross informed us that they were particularly short of garments for the men in the affected communities. So we're here today to hand over that donation to NEMO for distribution by the Red Cross.
Gunn says the trust is pleased to be making the donation to the National Emergency Management Organization, NEMO, who will be responsible for distributing the item to those in need, particularly to persons affected by the storm.
Is to provide our support. The focus of the trust is really to help vulnerable children, teenagers and young people while developing sustainable communities throughout St. Vincent and the Grenadines. However, we're always here to give support in times of a disaster.
Meantime, Director of NEMO, Howie thanked the Mustique Charitable Trust for its continued support to the relief efforts.
That this job is made so much easier because we have people who, like the Mustique Charitable Trust and the muscle of the Red Cross, to rely on to be sure that our work is done in the best way possible. NEMO extends its sincere gratitude, first of all, to the Mustique Charitable Trust. This is not the first time, by any stroke of the imagination, that the Mustique Charitable Trust has come forward to make significant donations consequent on the floods of December 2013. They have been on the landscape, they have been all around the towns, the cities, the villages. They have made significant contributions, and this is just part of the tangible way that the Mustic Company and the Mustic Charitable Trust is reaching out and giving corporate feedback, saying, first of all, that they appreciate the fact that they're working here in St. Vincent and that they are able to and are giving something back to people in St. Vincent when we need it most.
Plans are now being finalized for the official opening of SVG Gospel Fest 2014. The festival, which is into its 12th year, will be officially opened this Sunday, April 13th at the Victoria Park. The night's program, dubbed Experiencing the Power of God, will feature an evening of praise and worship. Scheduled to appear will be a number of leading local gospel artists, and the guest artist for the show will be international gospel superstar Judith Gale out of Jamaica. Addresses will come from Chairman of the Gospel Fest Committee, Fidel Taylor, with the Minister of Culture, Cecil Mackey, officially declaring the festival open. Pastor Stephen Oliver of the Kingdom Life Tabernacle will also deliver a special message to the nation. SVG Gospel Fest is a month-long festival of zonal and national gospel showcases across St. Vincent and the Grenadines, with performances in music, song, dance and drama that culminate with the National Gospel Showcases on April 27th at the Victoria Park. The 2014 festival is being held under the theme Experiencing the Power of God. The Oria Point Community Partnership Group, OPCPG, will host their annual Easter program targeting children from both communities from today to Tuesday, April 15th at the Oria Government School. The organizers have indicated that this year's activities will continue focusing on child abuse in lieu of the success of last year's event. The Oria Children's Easter program closes on Tuesday, April 15th with a closing ceremony and mini exhibition. This is the third children's program put on by the group as part of its contribution toward the building of the community. The OPCPG is one of 3 community groups formed through the assistance of the Rural Transformation Unit to assist in the development of social, human, infrastructural and economic capacities within the rural communities. Former suspect in robbery outside Postal Corporation building says he's struggling to get his life back on track. More stories on the local scene when the evening news continues. Welcome back to the evening news. Former national footballer Dwayne Sandy, who was deemed a wanted man for the June 2013 daylight robbery outside the Kingstown Postal Corporation building, says he's feeling vindicated now that someone else has been charged with the crime, but he's still struggling to get his life back together. SVG-TV's Zulika Lewis sat down with Sandy earlier this afternoon to get his perspective on things since news broke that Colin David of Longwall was charged for the incident in which a police officer was shot and an office attendant was robbed of some $102,000.
Almost 1 year ago, SVG-TV News sat down with Dwayne Tallman Sandy, a national footballer accused of a shooting and robbery that took place last June. Today, almost a year after, we're here sitting again with Mr. Sandy, who is now rejoicing, basically, that his name has been cleared from the accusations last June. Where were you and what were you doing when you found out that somebody else was charged for this crime?
Well, I was at national training, you know, and like people was talking about they charge somebody, whatever, you know. Job well done by the police force, you know.
You have always maintained that you were innocent, and you know your saga has been one of interests where you were not in the country, you were brought back here, you surrendered to the police, and still nothing was done. Now that somebody has been charged, what are some of the things you're looking forward to know?
Well, you know, like people will stop watching me as this kind of criminal, you know, like I'm such a bad person, you know, like now somebody has been charged, you know. I could get my life, I could move on my life now, you know. Apparently I'm training with the national team right now. You know, you're supposed to go in Dominican and tournament in the month, you know. And it's up to the coach them, you know, if they decide they want to pick me as a player, you know. But we'll see what takes place.
How has it been job hunting? Because I know the last time we spoke with you saying that you had some difficulties with some persons still thinking that you were connected to the crime. How has the job hunting been after that?
Well, it's been a terrible task, you know, because, you know, I try a team in Trinidad, Malabar FC, you know, they requested me my service in Trinidad, and you know, when I reach in Trinidad, they deny my entry. Say I was on the watch list for St. Vincent, you know, so I was denied a job. They like could I help my son, my family, you know. And right now I just down and out. I just seeking still by the grace of God, hope, you know, things will happen for me still in life.
Okay, you've been working closely with Mr. Grant KAHLIL. He was your lawyer.
Well, you could say Mr. KAHLIL is a lifesaver towards me. I respect him as my lifesaver because I could have been a dead man. Now, you know, if he wasn't by my side, you know, he'd do everything for me free of cost, you know. As a poor man, I don't have nothing, you know.
What would be your advice to young boys?
You know, like, whatever it don't have to be like football or whatever. It could be cricket, it could be athletics, it could be tennis, you know. Whatever you do, you just focus, you know. You have a lot of obstacles out there in your way, but you know, no matter what, you just give God, you know, grace and thanks, prayer, you know, just keep the faith.
Now that somebody has been charged for the crime, do you think this would make a difference of your image to the public?
Well, it's all up to society, you know, because people just watch it differently no matter what. So, you know, I just call on the Prime Minister, you know, he could help me in a way, you know. I could support my family, he could give me a job, you know, because I'm down and I have nothing, you know.
Gregory DeCall, a 38-year-old laborer of Camden Park who reportedly escaped lawful custody at the Milton CATO Memorial Hospital on April 5th, is back in police custody. DeCall, who was a patient at the male surgical ward, was at the time under the supervision and protection of the police, having been charged for criminal trespass, and it was during this time he made his escape. He appeared at the Kingstown Magistrates Court this morning and was remanded into custody until further notice, after the police described him as a flight risk. Magistrate Rashan Brown Matthias, however, excused herself from hearing the matter, stating that during her time in private practice, she represented DeCall on several matters. The matter was transferred to the KAHLIL Court to be adjudicated by District Magistrate Zoila Ellis Brown on April 21st. 17-year-old Rikalson Kwashi from the Grenadine island of Bequia has been arrested and charged by the police on 2 separate charges of attempted murder and criminal trespass. Kwashi's arrest stemmed from an incident at the Gingerbread Guest House at Belmont in Bequia between April 8th and 9th. He is said to have approached 92-year-old Trinidadian Robert Montana, who was a guest there, and inflicted wounds to his forehead and hands. Montana was rushed to the Twin Island Republic of Trinidad and Tobago to receive treatment and is presently a patient at a private hospital there. Kwashi appeared at the Kingstown Magistrates Court earlier today, facing the charges which were laid indictable. The police prosecution objected to his bail, stating that they have yet to receive a comprehensive medical report from the victim. As a result, Kwashi was remanded into custody until further notice. A country music event will be held here tomorrow at the cruise ship terminal in Kingstown. Organizer Jan Fernandez says she sees the need to bring country music back to SVG because over the years she has seen the culture dying.
Country to me relates relationships, life. It's not all sad songs. It's a lot of new country as well as old country. And I want to bring that feeling of love, vibrancy back. And country music to me is very warm. It's light and being a social thing. So this is an event we're creating for not just adults, but youngsters, because we've got a great DJ called Marlon in, we've got a band called The Solutions. They're going to do a couple of stints on some old country, and we've got DJ Marlon to take it right upbeat to new country. So we're looking forward to seeing it all out there. Admission's free, and I want to bring back that love, that warmth, the feeling of country.
Fernandez says country music has always been around in the Caribbean, and she would like to see it revived in SVG.
That's important to me, and I've seen, and I believe we have a great market. It gives us a chance to dress up, it gives us a feeling, it's dancing with anyone you like without, it's not not the wind up thing, which is true, and you can dance with anyone and no one should be, because it's warm, it's friendly, it's that love, and we need to bring that back to this nation, back here in SVG. So we're doing at the Time Out Cafe this Saturday night. Bring your friends, your family, anyone you know. On Facebook, it's there. Get it on Facebook, get out there, we want to see you.